Can you take me higher to a place of golden streets? Well, we can try. But what a glorious time it is to be a truther. All of it is coming out now. All that we have made our case for is being spilled out everywhere. There is no more real conspiracy because the truth has prevailed. But the great question is, what happens next? Well, that is down to you all. You can worry or fear, or take pride in the fact that you have in part changed the world already. The next stage is to rebuild our world in a better way. And we're asking all people who listen to this to come and join the TPC communal gatherings and be a part of our new world in our image, not a new world order in their image. Some will worry about the world is in a mess. My question is, where were you before COVID? It was in a mess then. It always has been a mess. A violent, sadistic, cheat, greed and demon-based harvesting world. But with the truth being unravelled, we can all change that. All of us. And I wish all mothers of the world a happy Mother's Day this coming Sunday. All mothers are under heavy attack currently, and we must fight to protect them. Birth rates have plummeted, which is what we warned of. But they must do their part also. Due to the moon cult, they are the most susceptible and have to do more to protect each other. And one hopes all are at peace. But peace comes from within. It always did. Now, it's been another busy week for myself, and it shows no signs of letting up this month. And this has caused me to not being too involved in the initiation of the communal gatherings. But I'm pleased some of you are taking up the mantle yourselves and organising. And this is essential moving forward as my time becomes more and more limited with various ongoing processes unfolding currently. The calls on my time has increased dramatically for private help, group help, and my input into other things that I'm involved in that goes way outside of this show and the social media pages. But this week marked two personal anniversaries on the same day, May the 4th. The day I was asked to prove to myself, could I step up within and of myself and no longer play the shadow player I had done previously. Now, I'm content working behind others for as long as those others are doing the right thing. But if not, I step forward more. And this was certainly the case in Cosmic Voice, as Drake had kind of stagnated, and so I stepped up to help him out. But May the 4th, 2016 was a big turning point. It was the day I had waited for many years, as my admins will attest. The day Neil Keenan made his fatal mistake of reading a document for and by the Chinese faction. That was a letter they sent to the American government threatening them. I had read that over 6 weeks earlier, and Neil blew his cover finally, and I outed it. I knew my time at Cosmic Voice was over, and a meeting held by Neil, Drake, Dean Chambers, Richard Montgomery, and yes, David Wilcock, to arrange for me to be fired was held on the evening of the 12th of May. By Sunday the 5th of May, or 15th of May, myself and all the admins were fired without warning. Now, I received volumes of messages and emails of support after that and was encouraged to start my own show. I did, although a bit sooner than I had envisaged. And that launched THI. And I told you all in the opening 2 lines of that very first show, I will tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And I also tasked you to think and act different. And we went on for 4 years of unparalleled success. We brought in other groups. We created the TPC, the state and country groups, and developed an in-house support structure and so much more. In essence, we became a global family group. But the shadow player, and not the front runner in me, reared its head during those 4 years again, as I was content to play the shadow role behind the trusty Kim Go-Guen, and it worked very well. We made fantastic progress with that work in partnership, and my roles took on a multiple hat situation that included work, spiritual, security and financial support for Kim. Everything in my life at that time was geared towards the support of Kim, which she revealed to you all, against my wishes I might add, in our last 2 Zooms we had with her. But 4 years to the day, like a loop, Kim decided without provocation or cause I was no longer required and subsequently fired from my paid but unpaid position, of which she still owes me $212,000. My security clearance was revoked and she went on a public ranting spree, spewing all kinds of lies about me. And over time, they have been proven wrong. And only she can answer why she did all that and whether that decision was the correct one to do, although there are many in THI and Lifeforce who will argue she was wrong. Of course it was wrong, given all I had done. But that is a key moment, and we all have these key moments in life. And the key for me now was, would I step up again like I did 4 years previously? And some doubted I could do that. In fact, some clowns thought without Kim I would buckle. The answer was I wouldn't and didn't. And many of you have stated I've gotten much stronger, more firm in my belief and work, and yes, I can see and feel that. Since that date, the THI memberships across the board on 4 platforms all went up around 22% in the past year. Support for my work also went up this past year as well. Only the TPC suffered from the split, of which Kim, Alan and Liam must take some responsibility for disrupting the people's movement after their power play failed. But we are rebuilding that again with the communal gatherings and the TPC community, and so that is great to see. So what happened with the shows? Well, Kim claimed that without her we would have no intel. Time has proven that wrong. Kim also claimed she was 50% of our show content. Time has proven that wrong as well. But without Kim in the past year, we have ramped up the must-listen-to shows and done 19 of those in just 12 months. 19. Plus the 3 end-of-year reviews, with a number more in the pipeline. And whilst it was sad for many, the split with Kim, and still is for some, I and we moved on to greater heights whilst others tanked. A year of much progression for us that sadly has not been replicated in the circle of white light or life force circles, but that is the choice they made for themselves. And it saddens me they never stepped up more within their own parameters, as we all have the same goals, allegedly. But the hidden hook played its hand, and they dabbled in it. And the evidence is they did not move on themselves, and some would argue they have become almost a shadow of the former selves. But that is for them to address. But 12 months on, the image in the mirror excuse of blaming me for all their own ills has worn thin. But perhaps the tiny man was a bigger part than they all thought. And perhaps, as some have suggested, I'm not too sure, but that Neil, Drake, Wilcock and Kim were all there to bring me down, a suggested mixture of spooks and honeypot agents, and time will tell on that. But what I do know is, if that was the case, they failed. And I would like to personally and genuinely thank Neil, Drake and Kim for giving me the opportunity to self-elevate my own role, not at the expense of others, but from within myself. And they all played an important part in that in various ways, and I thank them all for that. And that is a lesson for us all, to keep rising no matter what obstacles, traumas or adversities are thrown in your way. As for me, I'm the same as I was 8 years ago when I started out on my radio path, still humble, still supportive, caring, sharing, and yes, triggering, and compassionate for and by the people. And I will not sell out or be compromised, and that is my promise to you all. I was never driven by pieces of paper, titles or status. That is for the realms of the fallen ones. But what we have to do is build a better version of us. Build a better version of this country. Build a better way of living and build a better world for us all. Free of wars, disease and famine, and an abundance in cooperation, love, self-sufficiency and adult thinking ways. This is what THI and the TPC is all about. It's a teaching course. And it's not about me. It is about us all. We lead, others follow. Neil, Drake and Kim collectively said, "May the 4th be with you." It did, and it has. And that force rolls on inside us all. Those three, like our members, all raised me up to be a public figure. But I, with our members, all stand together, side by side.